Materials traceability is one of a suite of improvement initiatives that make up the Gas Operations Mariner program. This project establishes an industry-leading standard and process to ensure gas transmission materials and components are traceable, verifiable, and have complete materials records. Like the other Mariner programs, Materials Traceability is an initiative that was created to enhance the safety of PG&E's gas transmission system and improve the accessibility and reliability of pipeline system asset information. Materials Traceability represents PG&E's high-level compliance commitment, launched as part of the 2011 Pipeline Safety Enhancement Plan filing. By December 2015, it will be fully deployed and integrated into our core business process. Materials traceability will enhance public safety by establishing an industry-leading standard and process for gas transmission. It also ensures that all related gas asset information is accurate, complete, and readily accessible. Here at PG&E, we understand the importance of tracing materials used in our pipeline systems, and we are committed to meeting and exceeding our regulatory compliance requirements. By December 2015, our existing business processes will be enhanced with the ability to track materials origin and locate where batches of gas transmission materials are installed within the system. Also, we will have easy access to complete materials information for all transmission assets, preventing issue and installation of recalled or non-qualified materials. In order to become the safest, most reliable gas company in the United States, we need to transition to modern data management systems. What are the benefits of materials traceability? Using a combination of materials tagging and SAP batch management functionalities, the project will enable traceability of identified critical materials to their origin. It will enable PG&E core systems to capture and link traceability documentation to materials. We will ensure that materials issued to a construction job are traceable and remain traceable. We will prevent installation of recalled or non-qualified materials and identify where traceable materials are installed. Enhancements will include the use of SAP and Documentum to capture and manage the necessary information to ensure traceability, and will minimize the paper and manual steps needed for critical materials information to flow through to a construction job. Materials traceability represents a lot of change. For many, it will represent the trifecta of people, process, and technology change. Numerous departments will be impacted, resulting in the adjustment of some current processes as well as the creation of new processes. Who was involved in the change design? Experts from various organizations impacted by this initiative have participated in its development, testing, and deployment planning. From initial requirements workshops to final testing in the field, the team has consistently sought out the ideas, concerns, and recommendations of those affected by the changes. It's big. Materials traceability impacts multiple PG&E organizations, as well as our materials suppliers and third-party business partners. From codes and standards and engineering and design personnel to supply chain teams such as sourcing and procurement, supplier quality assurance, and warehouse, to PG&E and contract construction crews, materials traceability will affect the daily activities of our employees, contract resources, and suppliers. You may be familiar with this image. It shows you how the Materials Traceability Project touches on the work of many different people representing various work groups throughout the PG&E system. From end to end, the Materials Traceability work processes represent a comprehensive solution that will enable us to ensure records are traceable, verifiable, and complete. Let's look now in more detail at how each work group is impacted by the Materials Traceability Program implementation. For codes, standards, and training, the Materials Traceability Initiative means developing, documenting, and publishing new PG&E procedures for traceable materials. It also means that code, standards, and training will switch to reviewing and approving material test reports in SAP instead of by email communications. Moving on to pipeline engineering and design, within the materials traceability process, engineering will reconcile the bill of materials to ensure all traceable materials have material codes. Sourcing and procurement will ensure all traceable materials in SRM shopping carts have material codes and not text-based descriptions. Keep in mind that regardless of the procurement method, all traceable materials are now required to have a material code. And in order to ensure that material codes are created in a timely fashion, code standards and training, engineering, or sourcing and procurement can submit a new material code creation request. The Materials Traceability Initiative requires manufacturers and vendors to provide additional material information. Vendors will notify supplier quality assurance when materials are ready to be source inspected and will ship materials only after supplier quality approves materials as well as the materials documentation. Materials traceability heavily impacts supplier quality assurance. When the expert materials inspector approves the materials test report, a batch number is automatically created. When they approve the inspection checklist, a notification is automatically sent to the vendors and suppliers authorizing shipment of pipes, valves, and fittings to a warehouse or a job site. Once both the MTR and inspection checklist are approved, the SAP interface matches and links the batch number to these documents. Once traceable materials arrive at the warehouse, materials handlers will receive goods. They will also search for the SAP batches associated with received goods by inputting the batch characteristics from their packing lists. Materials handlers will then print and affix batch labels to pipes, valves, and fittings. When warehouse materials are picked for a job order, materials handlers will also ensure that only qualified materials assigned to a batch are issued to a job order. Materials will arrive at job sites with batch labels already affixed. These batch labels validate that materials are qualified upon receipt at the job site. PG&E construction teams will record the batch number into the pipe fitting log and other construction documentation such as as-builts. To ensure that the materials used in gas transmission construction consistently meet the new traceability standards, all materials purchased must be coordinated through the supply chain, sourcing, and procurement organization. In keeping with the current PG&E practices, P-cards are not to be used for ordering any materials that are traceable, coded, or a PG&E warehouse stock item. Lastly, mapping retrieves the batch number from construction's pipe fitting log and enters it into the gas transmission geographic information system. We're all in this together. This project impacts many of us. Together, we share a vision of safety and reliability.